Sweet, sweet. Ruger. This, well, Hickok 45, right? This is a gun from Ruger, and I've not had one of these before. Kind of reminds me of, what was that gun they used in World War II? The Garand. Yeah, the Garand. Very, very similar, except then they improved it and to where it would take a box magazine like that, I recall. This gun resembles it. I mean, when I pick it up, it just seems to be kind of a miniature version of it, you know? But I don't know, it's got, what, Mini-14 on it. I'm not sure what that stands for. But anyway, I'll trust Ruger. They got the name right. It's kind of an interesting piece of hardware. I've never had one. It's also got ranch rifle on it. So that makes sense to me because we sort of have a ranch here, I guess you could say. No horses, no cowboys, except for me. And it is kind of a ranch, and this is kind of a rifle, so it fits right in, doesn't it? Not had one of these in my life. In my shooting life, you would think I would have had one of these guns. Oh, that's right, Mini-14, that's what it's called, isn't it? Mini-14. You would have thought that Hickok 45 would have somewhere along the way had a Mini-14, particularly where for 3 years people have been asking me about it. But let me tell you, I have had flirtations with it over the years. I've looked at them, picked them up, thought that's kind of neat, you know, because, you know, really they are patterned after what is that gun, M14? I think that might be it. M1. It is patterned after that design, isn't it? And you know, if you're kind of a traditionalist in a way, you can't help but like it for that reason. It really is like a miniature M14, and I picked them up, I've read about them, I get in my head I've got to have one, and I'll do a little study, I'll do a little research, you know, and I'll hear a lot of great things about it, and then someone will be complaining about the accuracy or something, you know, or some issue, or the magazines were not available, you know, for a long time. As far as higher capacity magazines were just not very easily available, you know, to come by, at least the Ruger magazines, because back through the years, Bill Ruger was, he became a little bit unpopular about his stance on that, if you recall, you know, the history on that, when the high capacity magazines were, you know, in the news and everything. And I won't go into all that right now, but Ruger has changed their philosophy and their direction on that, and they've made these 30-round magazines widely available now, easily available, and so things have changed a lot at Ruger. But anyway, there's always some reason I couldn't trip over from the AR. You know, most of us know the AR platform. It works. It's designed for the military. It just works well and is accurate, even under rapid fire, and even when it's hot, you know, it still cranks pretty well. And when these things used to have a slimmer barrel configuration, less steel in the barrel, you know, particularly you'd read how after a certain number of shots, you know, you'd get a deterioration of the accuracy. Now, I don't know, but, you know, the accuracy issue. I've done a video called Accuracy, and who knows, if I had picked up one of the first ones in 1974, I might have been able to hit everything I wanted to hit after firing 200 rounds rapid fire, and, you know, I don't know. So I always take with a grain of salt when people talk about accuracy. But still, for all those reasons, I just haven't quite made the commitment, thrown down the cash, and gotten one. Well, this is a T&E gun from Ruger, and I requested it because I wanted to shoot one. I have picked them up in shops many times recently. But, you know, that feels good to me. And I have also read about how they've improved them. So I'm going to lay it down here for a second, let you look at it a little bit closer. I have read some good things about it in recent years, about the improvements. The barrel is stiffer and heavier. They've added some meat to it. And a lot of changes have taken place over the years since 1974 when it first came out, and I'm not going to go through all of that, just various improvements along the way. But in the recent decade, I guess since around 2000, particularly, they've done some things. I think they've improved the gas system, as I've read, that there's a little bit less barrel vibration. The barrel's been, as I said, heavied up, and you always gain from that, of course. Oh, tighter tolerances, I've read, better sights, better scope mounts, you name it. They've just improved the gun in a lot of ways. There are lots of stocks available for it, so you can do whatever you want with this thing. It's like a Ruger 1022, and like a lot of other very popular guns. This gun is extremely popular. I don't have to tell you this. This gun's been around a long time. A lot of people know a lot about it. A lot of you know a lot more about it than I do, because if you've had one 2 or 3 times and you've done some things in terms of modifying it and working with them, you have the experience. You have opinions about the accuracy that are more valid than mine. You've had more experience. I don't have any experience shooting one of these things other than this one. I've shot it enough to kind of like it. It's fun. Just got it in. Well, actually, I've had it in a while, and I have actually made comments. You may have seen some of those. But it came with a really tactical, quote unquote, stock, and I'm not going to trash that stock verbally, but I just didn't like it, and Ruger was very kind in sending me a more traditional stock, and finally got the heat shield and everything along with it, and so we're finally able, we got this gun in one piece with a stock and are able to shoot it and do a video with it. But I would have been bad-mouthing that stock a lot, because it just didn't feel good to me. When I picked it up with a pistol grip, the trigger guard was in an awkward position and everything, and that's just me. It's my bias. I don't mind an AR, but one of the attractions I've always had to this gun, even though I've not owned it, one of the reasons I've come close, is like, that's a really neat gun. It shoots a 223, 5.56, and it's just kind of a normal gun. It's more like the old school, like say the Garand or something, and not as a little scary looking to people. It's just kind of a neat range rifle, just pick it up and go. You can get a 5-round magazine for it, 10-round magazine, whatever you want, or a higher capacity. This appealed to me for that reason. I'm not as interested in tacticaling, new word, one up. If I want a tactical gun like this that shoots a 5.56, I'm more interested. I'll just go to an AR. That's just me though. So I like this configuration, plain old stock, plain old Jane, pretty good sights, and ready to go. All right. So interesting gun, and let's shoot it some more. We have some magazines. Now what we're firing here, some ammo. This is 5.56. And it is American Eagle, and I got this from, I've had this for a while too, because I knew I was getting this gun. I don't know which one of these I was shooting. I'll top it off here. From Ammo for Sale, donated this, and we've had it just in waiting for the Ruger, so we could use it. So we appreciate AmmoForSale.com donating this ammo. You can look in the description of the video for information on that. Seems like good ammo, 55 grain, nothing exotic. I have read on this rifle enough to confuse me. I have read that it likes heavier bullets than the 55 grain. Then I've also read reviews where people got great accuracy out of this 55 grain bullet, even after repeated firing. Lots of firing, barrel hot, still doing fine. So, it's just you just got to try it yourself and see what happens. Now, I am not going to bench rest this with a scope on it, and I'll be the first to admit that's one of the criticisms of this gun that I have read, which, again, that doesn't scare me too much. When you put this in a vise, you lock it down, and you shoot at 300 yards, and after 50 rounds, the groups open up more than an AR, this much or this much, don't know. That's generally not the kind of shooting I do, so it doesn't scare me. So as I understand what I have read, that these new barrels, the newer guns, they're getting really good accuracy out of them. Now whether that'll match your favorite AR, I don't know, maybe not, but good enough generally is what I'm reading, and in fact pretty good accuracy. So let's take some more shots. So we're just going to shoot the way I normally shoot, plink around and play and enjoy this thing. Okay. Got the same safety as the Garand, the M14. All right, I'm gonna pop that plate a couple more times if I can. When I got it, the sights weren't where I liked them, so I lowered them a little bit, and now it shoots right on pretty much if you hold it on. Now, let's try something closer, like a bowling pin. Or a 2-liter. Let's go over here to that green one. All right. Fun, fun, fun. Now I've got a couple of just regular 12-ounce cans there. I wanted to show you something in case you weren't familiar. The one on the left is full. The one on the right is just an empty can. And I'm going to shoot at it and try to hit it. Okay. And I don't know if you could see, I did this earlier. It didn't even fall off. I had 3 or 4 holes in one. It didn't even fall off. For those of you who are not as aware, with this 223-556, it is so fast that it will shoot through an aluminum can and sometimes even something heavier without even moving it. Of course, one that's full, it will definitely move. No question about that, is it? Let's go back over. Empty. I don't know if those magazines are supposed to hold the bolt back or not. That one didn't. So it's got the little button here like a M1 carbine. That's kind of neat. And that is one of the attractions of this gun. It does take you back. Harkens back to the old days of the Garand, the M14, that bolt. You know, gosh, that's kind of neat. Just a handy little rifle. It just feels good. And I'm liking it. I tell you, it has not malfunctioned. I have shot it maybe I don't know, probably 60, 70, 80 times off camera since I got it, and it has not malfunctioned. It just it feeds right along and is a good little shooter. I just needed to work on the sight a little bit. I did adjust that. It looks like it's loosening up on me. I don't think I have my tool out here, but we'll get that. Yeah. Make sure that doesn't come loose totally there. Yeah. All right. Let's try some more shooting here. We don't have a lot. You know, we can't shoot the animals. 223, 556. You can't do that. It will actually go through some of them, and it will do a lot of damage to most of them. But so we've got our hardened plate up there for that. We're going to take a couple more. Let's put the 20 round in. See how it works. All right, we'll keep an eye on that sight, and if it gets too loose, we'll have to do a little edit there and tighten it up. Oh, I see a Coke can there that thought it was going to get away. Ooh, nice. I'm going to try the red bowling pins over there. They're a little bit of a challenge, but I think the windage on this thing is okay. If I can see them well enough. There we go. All right. Dangling bowling pins make a nice rifle target. They just do. I've got to wipe my glasses off here again. Now I do have anti-fog on them. It goes away very quickly. Okay, that's good. I finally got some anti-fog wipes, and that has helped a good bit. We're here suffering the remnants of the hurricane, though, on this fine Sunday afternoon, and it's so humid. Apparently the last day, though, before it cools off after the hurricane. Let's take a few more shots while I can see. Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. And we have another magazine. So what we're going to do here is take a few shots on the watermelon that's left. And we have an old jug here that I came by with water and food coloring that is just begging to be shot. It is a, I don't know, vegetable oil or something came in. I picked it up at a Minute Mart, and it's just got water in it now. So we'll see what we can do with it as well. Let's see, this watermelon here needs to be shot from an angle where I don't damage anything. Let's try those bowling pins there first. Wow. 5.56. Okay, safety on. Make sure our sight's tight enough there. I don't know what this thing's going to do. It is going to break, I know that. Oh yes, created a little flood there, didn't we? Pretty sweet, pretty sweet. Ah, look at that. It's good. But anyway, the Mini-14, Mini-14, almost called by the wrong name there. Pretty sweet. I am really glad to have one in my possession to shoot. It's a handy little rifle. I can see why so many people like them. You know, I don't know if I could only choose one, an AR or this. You know, I don't know that I'd choose it, but it is really cool and fun to shoot. You know, it's available in 7.62 by 39 and also 6.8. I didn't realize that, but it is. I haven't seen one. So it's a handy little gun. It's the kind of gun it's easy to fall in love with. It's light, it's powerful, reliable, and accurate enough. You know, accuracy is where the big controversy is, but it seems accurate enough for me, and even for a lot of people to do a lot of bench resting with them, and you know, really push the accuracy limit apparently. But then again, there's some who wouldn't have it for that reason. So, you know, maybe some of you have newer ones. You've really tested them. Bench rested with lots of different ammo. You can chime in and see what, you know, let people know what your experience is with it. Because that's something I don't do. It doesn't interest me that much. But it just feels like a really handy, good all-around rifle for the ranch. Ranch rifle, written right on it. Anyway, Mini-14 ranch rifle, 5.56 or 223. We'll fire either one, and pretty sweet, and life is pretty good.